Thanks, Coach. Originally opened in 1995 as Jacksonville Municipal Stadium when this franchise entered the NFL. We welcome you to Jacksonville and TIAA Bank Field. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Chicago Bears and the Jacksonville Jaguars. And he will be brought down here at about the 17-yard line.
We're going to start.
Here's the first carry for Austin Eckler. And he'll take this up only to about his 18-yard line. He'll wind up getting a yard on the game's first play. It's second down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
On 2nd and 9, Darnold. And he's taken down. Back at his own 7. Khalil Mack in there for the sack, and that is now 21 for him on the year. Wow, what a season. After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
Instead, they go empty backfield as they'll look to throw. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender is making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. 51 yards on the punt there. And the Bears take over. The Bears in good field position to start out 1st and 10 at their own 46. The former Gamecock here. This is Mike Davis. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. First down for the Bears, a gain of 15. Well, one unit I know you want to watch is that offensive line. If they keep clearing holes like that, it could be a long night defensively.
No doubt about it, because when they are in sync, as we're seeing so far, when that continuity is there, and you can see that they're playing off of each other while controlling the defensive front linebackers, you're exactly right. It could be a very long night for the defense because someone's going to run for some big yardage.
Looking to throw, Trubisky on first down. He's going to fire one deep into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Ryan Shazier. And the return will stop right around the 25. Well, certainly not how he wanted to start his night. First throw of the game, an INT.
Yeah, it's not easy, but he's got to try and wipe that one away from the memory banks. And let's face it, it's not often a quarterback and a defensive back have a lot in common. But one thing, because they have these individual type plays, they've got to have short memories, don't they? DB gets beat, wipe it away, quarterback throws a pick, has to do the same thing.
Here's Eckler to begin the drive. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. That sends him 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to second down.
Well, you had to punt on your first drive, and on the first play of the second drive, you end up going backwards. I would dare say they need something good to happen right here, right now.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Now it's Darnold. He finds his target. It's Evans. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. Catch number 40 for him on the year. It's a first down.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Running on first down, Eckler. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. That one good for a gain of 13 for Jacksonville and a first down. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched it more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early.
97's the mic. 97's the mic. You going to see me in your... Hey, Echo. You going to see me in your nightmare.
Darnold on first down. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
As tight ends go, he might not provide the super flashy plays very often, but he's pretty reliable, usually an excellent target, and normally catches what's thrown to him, but he didn't on that play.
Three and a half to go, first quarter.
Watch the out. Watch the out.
Back to the air, Darnold on second down. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off near the 34. And what a return as he brings this one all the way back to the 25-yard line.
And, Brandon, this is a real nice job defensively of getting inside a quarterback's head and figuring out, okay, where's he going with the football? Because you can make an educated guess defensively, not all the time, but sometimes. And when you're right, you got a decent chance of coming away with the football.
Now a run on first down is not going to get off the ground as they will get him behind the line of scrimmage for a loss of 3.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
Now on second and 13, Trubisky is caught by Davis. And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. That backs him up 1 yard and brings up third down. Really good defensive effort. They were all over that little swing pass out to the right side before lost yardage.
Terrific read, better execution, and done with a lot of enthusiasm, wasn't it?
Absolutely.
They saw it all the way, ran to the football, and caused a nice play for lost yardage.
The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is third and long. Out of the gun, Trubisky. Looks to throw, fires right side. And that's going to be incomplete. The coverage too good there. The contact popped the ball free, and it's fourth down. And this one looks good. It is good. Right down the pipe. And it's 3-0. The Bears hit the scoreboard first. The bottom line, tremendous starting field position, really squandered there as they wind up going backwards and then come up with just 3.
Well, getting the 3 turned out to be important. I can imagine the head coach when he ordered the field goal. Please salvage something out of this drive. That was not fun to watch.
And he will be brought down here at about the 17-yard line. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And to be frank, they're just in a tough spot. It's only November, already eliminated from playoff contention. I know their fan base doesn't want to hear that, but that's the case. And now nothing but green ahead of him. He's at the 30, the 20. Touchdown, Jaguars. Austin Eckler, 83 yards. And the Jaguars have taken the lead. Well called, well blocked, and then he just made a great play. That was an athlete going a long way.
Yeah, how about the suddenness, too, of just getting there and taking off and going? For the defensive guys, plays like that really hurt.
And Lambeau now, after the touchdown, he'll kick this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told as he's taken down back shy of the 20. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. And still a lot of football to be played in this season. We're only in November. A lot can happen between now and January. But if it ended today, they would just be on the outside of the playoff picture looking in. So a lot to fight for.
Yeah, and wasn't it interesting in our meeting with the coaching staff that they all made sure to let us know, we know where we are right now, but the playoffs don't start tomorrow. We still got some time, and they plan on putting it together, formulating a streak that the whole month of December is still left to play. They think they can get in.
And they made it very obvious to us that there's no playoff talk in the locker room right now. It's win this game and look to next week.
Excellent focus.
9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Out of the shotgun, they'll run with Davis. And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49. Now we're going to get a stoppage. Appears to be an injured Bear on the field. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside. They'll throw on first down with Trubisky. And that is caught on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. The throw took him a little too far. It's second down. That pass just a little bit off. It looked like maybe he tried to force it in there.
Game speed, always different, no matter what you do in practice. Can't simulate it, right? So your decision-making, everything has to be a little bit quicker. Sometimes it can throw you off until you adjust.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Trubisky will throw. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Jamal Adams. And they have the football and will take over at the 24-yard line.
But to me, it's pretty simple, and it's... fairly obvious, isn't it? He's got to start making better decisions with the ball.
That's now 2 interceptions in the first quarter. After interception number 1, there was a long talk on the sideline, and now he's made another mistake.
Yeah, he's just been kind of laying these passes out there. He's kind of been floating them a little bit. He's got to be more decisive in his reads and definitely more decisive in throwing the ball. Rifle it in there every now and then.
They started on the ground with Eckler. And he's got daylight. It's a foot race. Touchdown, Jaguars. Austin Eckler, 76 yards. And the Jaguars are able to strike quickly for 6. And a pair of rushing touchdowns now for him in the first quarter.
And I'm liking what I'm seeing from his big guys up front because they're winning the leverage game. How many times we talk about low man wins, right? Move the defensive front aside, create those gaps and holes. He's found his way through them for 2 touchdowns.
And after both of those touchdowns, he went right up to that O-line and hit each of them on the helmet. He recognized it.
That's a smart man. You know what else he should do? If this continues, take them all to dinner.
At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. They've shown precious little here offensively thus far as they try again with a first down now.
Check motion.
They'll run on first down. Solomon. Jamal Adams coming up from his safety spot to make the play. After one, a 14-3 ball game. The Bears with the football. We get set to begin quarter number 2 as they are looking at a 2nd down and 6 coming up. Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6.
Check the backer, check the backer. Lock in, lock in.
Here's Trubisky. Throwing left side here, and it's complete. And he's going to be out of bounds right at midfield. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains. Somebody missed an assignment. He was waving his arms saying, hey, I'm wide open. They found him.
You think? You think? I mean, he was so wide open. Did you see he was just windmilling like he was Don Quixote or somebody out there? And then they found him for a really nice gain.
On 1st down, Solomon. And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on 1st down.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
180! Alert, 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 alert! Slam, slam, slam!
On 2nd and 11 now. Trubisky. Pressure comes, and Trubisky goes down. Miles Jack with a sack. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep them clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. 0 accountability, and a sack resulted.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect. So a couple of 1st downs on this drive, but it's looking like another empty possession.
And those empty possessions are certainly starting to pile up. So the adjustments that teams talk about all the time have to be taking place. They've got to analyze what's breaking down and figure a way to fix it.
The field position game, such an overlooked facet, Charles, of an NFL game. But this offense, they're going to be pinned back. What an ideal punt.
An ideal punt, and it leads to that term complementary football. Because them doing that puts their defense in a great spot, doesn't it? Gives them a chance. If they want to be aggressive, try and maybe get a safety out of this whole thing, it puts them in that position.
Here's Eckler. And he's going to be taken down shy of the 10, right around the 9-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease.
Rush coming, and he's taken down. Khalil Mack in there for sack number 22 on the year. And, folks, that's just a half sack shy now of Michael Strahan's record of 22.5 set in 2001. They'd like to avoid punting from their own end zone so they could use something here on 3rd down. From his end zone, 3rd and long for Darnold. And that is incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. 12 yards on the return that time. And out will come the offense as they take over. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
Brings up 2nd and 11 at the 43-yard line.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11.
Alert 3, alert 3, alert 3. 18.
From the shotgun is Trubisky. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
That would have been a great catch, but it's real difficult to hold on to it because it was contested all the way. Would have been a great play if he'd been able to haul that one in.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. From the gun, it's Trubisky. He'll rifle this one deep right side. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up fourth down.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, and that could have been trouble. And maybe getting a little too cute there on the punt return. Sometimes they forget paramount holding on to that football.
I really do believe most of the return guys think to themselves, when I get the ball, I'm going to make the play that's going to change the game.
I'm going to break it.
I'm going to break it. And you love that they have that attitude, but your point is so well taken. What do you have to do? First and foremost,
hold on to it.
Take care of the football. That's all he needed to do.
It's a loss of a yard there, and it's second down. Well, from my vantage point, that's just one bad play by the offensive line and a running back who's had a lot of good ones tonight.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean he's not going to be ticked off, nor is the offensive line, because to me it's a lot like a no-hitter, right? Pitcher's throwing a no-hitter, gives up a hit late. You're so close to accomplishing everything you want and don't quite get it done. They'll come back with a vengeance on the next play.
And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. It's a gain of 35.
This is a little bit like baseball here. Strong up the middle. Both sides want to be that. In this case, the offense ended up winning the ultimate battle.
And those big runs between the tackles, that's a little deflating for a defense, isn't it?
It really is, because that's where your strength's supposed to be. You're supposed to be in a spot where they can't make that yardage there. You're supposed to send them outside. Not in this case.
Looking for more there on first down, but this throw downfield incomplete. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Here's Darnold. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off near the 29. And some room to roam now.
Well, that's a drive killer right there. Not a really confident throw either. This one was kind of up for grabs, and it's going to come down the hands of the wrong team.
Mike. 180. Here we go, D. Here I come again. Here I come again. Here I come again. Alert. Alert. Safety's creeping. Check 13.
First down, here's the run with Montgomery. And he's taken down after a gain of 3 as they move it from the 22 to the 19.
Defenses always talk about earning the right to rush the passer on third down. And you know what offenses want? Win first down so they can set things up for themselves better.
And that wasn't helpful there. Not a big impact on first down. On 2nd and 7, Trubisky to the goal line, but it's incomplete.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
And when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
In danger of squandering their great field position as they come up on a 3rd and 7. Here's Trubisky to throw. And this is Gabriel on the catch. And boy, he is very close to a first down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short. We've got a 14-3 ball game with 2 minutes left in the opening half. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend.
He goes to you, it's you. He comes to me, it's me. 44 is the mic, 44 is the mic. Check, check.
I don't even know why this team showed up.
Shift, shift.
They'll try and run for it. And this will depend on the mark. I'm not sure he pushed the line forward. And indeed he did not. They stop him. A chance to get some momentum here in the second quarter, getting their first trip into the red zone, but unable to get it across.
And if I'm the head coach, sure, you feel some disappointment, maybe a little bit of deflation there because you didn't get it in, but I'm going straight to rah-rah mode. All right, guys, we didn't get it this time. It's only the second quarter. We'll be back. Let's get it later on. I want to keep this team up. I don't want them to feel like they've let everyone down.
Positive.
Got to be positive in this situation. It's too early to think that you don't have a chance to win this game.
And just not a ton of room to work with. He'll get it to the 15 for a gain of 2.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
On second down, Eckler. And a short gain across the 15 to the 17-yard line. Now the Bears going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important third down.
Mike, 58, right there. Hey, I'm coming.
Darnold from the gun. He's going to wind up and air it out. And that'll wind up incomplete. Bold play call there. Now it's fourth down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
The Bears take over first and 10 at the 50-yard line.
So good starting field position for him here as they come up first and 10 right at the 50-yard line.
Kill. Fofo's the mic. Mike's Fofo. Exit.
From midfield now, here's Trubisky. And nowhere to fit that football in. It's knocked away and incomplete.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
It seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
Another throw on second down, and this one incomplete as well.
Feels like they're getting caught in between here because they did completions on first and second down. Now you got to worry a little bit about the clock because you prefer not to give them another shot here in the first half. But if you don't pick up the first down, guess what? You're likely going to have to.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. Finding Gabriel complete. Give him 19 there as the drive marches forward. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on third down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a first down.
He's got Burton here. Now the Bears will use their third and final timeout as the clock will stop with 20 seconds to go in the first half. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10.
He's checking.
Now Trubisky. Eluding the pressure right. And that is incomplete. 16 seconds now on the clock.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
Yeah, I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the second quarter, a lot of time to change things. This one into the hands of Burton. And he's able to get this down to the 5-yard line before he's out of bounds. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down. Here's the 7th play of this drive. This is 3rd and 4. Looking to throw again, Trubisky. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. So they won't get a touchdown, but here's a chance to at least get 3 to end the first half. From the right hash, and this one just a chippy. The kick by Joseph is good. And a second field goal here cuts their deficit to 14-6 now. So, yes, they'll still be down going into intermission, but the deficit is now made even smaller, very manageable. Yeah, and if nothing haywire happens here in his last couple of precious seconds, they will go into the locker room with a nice bounce in their step, having gotten a little bit closer on the scoreboard. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. And this should be the final play before the quarter ends.
Stop your whining.
They'll indeed try to run it out as they start on the ground. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. So we have reached halftime here in what's an 8-point game. As we send you a couple hours south of here to Orlando, that's where we check in with a coach and our EA Sports halftime report. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told as he's taken down back shy of the 20. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the second half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works. They'll run on first down. Solomon. And he'll get this way down into Jacksonville territory. A huge play there for Chicago. 56 yards on the ground. A real field flipper there as all of a sudden they've got a first down in the red zone. Back to the ground, this time Montgomery. On springs free, Montgomery loses it. And the offense will hold on to this one right at the 5-yard line. Lucky there. Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up. And avoids the turnover. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down. They'll run for him in Montgomery. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Chicago. David Montgomery, his 4th touchdown on the year, as his guys have cut the lead down to 2. Well, they had their chances in the first half, you remember, but had to settle for 2 field goals. This time they come away with 6. I think they actually got affirmation about what they were doing by getting a touchdown because the field goals means they got in range.
but couldn't quite finish it off. This time, they broke through, and that's great for the old confidence.
And on the sideline, difference of a feeling between 3 and 6, is it astronomical or no?
It can be at times, that's for sure. A lot of times the field goal feels like a disappointment. The touchdown, well, that tells you you're getting it done.
So we're right back where we started, all even as the kick's away. The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive. First half showed us some pretty good offense. Tie game, we'll see what the second half brings.
And it'll be interesting because I think both sides feel pretty good about what their offenses are doing. Got to wonder what adjustments are being made defensively to try and get a spark and maybe slow down the other side.
But here, do you change up anything on this opening drive?
Not offensively, you don't. You got everything going your way. You've probably prepared for maybe some change-ups you might expect, but overall, you like what your game plan's showing you.
On 2nd and 9, Darnold. And they'll start with great field position at the 41-yard line.
And that's a great example of ball skills right there, partner. You and I do a lot of games, and I can't tell you how many guys look to run with the football before they've intercepted it. So that's a nice job of focusing on the task at hand and coming away with the interception.
On first down, nothing opening up really on the running play. Give him maybe a yard, and it'll be second down. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
At the Jaguars' 40-yard line.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run.
Lock in, lock in.
Now it's Trubisky. And that'll be incomplete. He was trying to hit Taylor Gabriel that time. 3rd down here. The turnover put him in great field position. They don't want to squander it with 3rd down coming up.
No, not at all. And you know what else you do? You make your defense mad.
Yeah.
They got you the football, gave you a great opportunity. You got to cash in and get some points.
First down marker at the 31. It's 3rd down.
Switch.
Now Trubisky to throw. And that will be incomplete.
After that throw, and it was definitely one that he would love to have back. I wonder what's going through his head. I wonder what kind of mind game he's playing with himself to get himself back on track. Because a lot of guys, that's what they do. They have little triggers that when the mechanics are off, or if they make a bad throw, that they go to that place to get themselves back in sync.
So it's his 3rd field goal now with the ball game, and they needed his leg. This last one gives them the lead.
It's been a back-and-forth kind of a game, hasn't it? Now you got to tell your defense, guys, need you to make this stand up because we got the momentum going in the right direction, but we need you to make sure we carry it home.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away.
We got this. Over 1st and 10 at their own 35-yard line.
Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
They don't want it, fellas. They don't want it. Keep playing hard, fellas, all day. Woo! Let's get it.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. A shotgun snap for Darnold. He'll get this to Eckler. And a nice job there defensively. They get him to the ground short of the 1st, right around the 42. It's an 8-yard pickup, and it'll be 4th down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
That'll be a 49-yard punt, 6 yards there on the return. And it'll be 1st and 10 Bears from deep in their own territory. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that. And they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. Now again, right side. Solomon looking for a cutback lane, but nothing there as he's met at the line of scrimmage. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it. On 3rd down, Trubisky. Gonna let one fly for Robinson. And unable to connect, incomplete. Now give them credit, they took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
One thing I know from experience is that when the deep ball is thrown and you're the defender, you've got to fight that little bit of panic that emerges. You've got to play the ball really well. It's a 50-50 jump ball play. And guess what? They took a shot. How are you going to win it? And in this case, they managed to get it done.
The Jaguars face for 1st and 10 at their own 21-yard line.
The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. It's Eckler again. Fights forward for only about a yard up to the 21.
Well, praise has to go to the guys in the offensive line because they've had a very nice, productive day running the football. How about that poor defensive line? They've been knocked around the entire game, and while they slowed them down on that run, can they continue to do so? Because they haven't had much success throughout this ball game.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. And his guys are going to get the football at their own 47-yard line. Just a little bit of a rough stretch. 6 interceptions now in these last 2 weeks combined.
I know the easy thing is to go back to mechanics, footwork, things of that nature. I'm also wondering, is he getting fooled by what he's seeing on defense? Has the scouting report changed? Are they showing him things different than what he expected? For the 2nd week in a row, he's throwing it to the guys in the wrong color shirts.
Yeah, he better figure, whatever the reason is, he better figure it out. So this helps to start a drive. After the penalty, it'll be 1st and 5. And he'll give it here to his running back. Call it a gain of a couple there as it'll leave him with a 2nd and just 3.
An opportunity to get a drive started here at the end of the 3rd quarter. What you're trying to do is break the game down a little bit. Don't let your guys see too deep into the game, into the future, and say, oh, we got to get here. No, right here, right in front of them, melt the clock down, get to the 4th quarter, try and keep going.
And try to keep that lead.
Exactly.
On 2nd down, it's Montgomery, and he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
One quarter remains here on a Sunday night. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. The Bears on third down. Just one conversion in 8 tries. Not good. This time it's 3rd and 3. Throwing here, Trubisky. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
They had enough yards for the first down, but a clutch hit right there defensively. Jars it free. No first down.
Here's Pat O'Donnell now. He's been terrific so far. And not what he was hoping for there, as this will hit in the end zone for a touchback. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. Now Eckler gets this to the 24 for a gain of 4.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
Once more, here's Eckler. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. Officially, it will go as a 1-yard loss, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
Brings up 3rd and 7.
The Jaguars on 3rd down. A pretty woeful 0 for 5 thus far. This is 3rd and 7. Darnold now to throw. Into the hands of his tight end, Jeff Swain. And he gets it to the 32. Good enough for a first down. First time they've looked his way in this game. He comes through picking up the first. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. On the ground, it's Eckler. And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. It's a loss of 4 on the first down play.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
They'll run out of the gun with Eckler. And to the 36-yard line, taken down there after getting 8 yards.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Here we go, son. 97 is the mic. Yeah, I got you.
Throwing here on 3rd down, Darnold. And that'll be incomplete. Well, they took their shot all right, but it comes up empty, and it's 4th down.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time. And this is going to hit the goal line and continue on into the end zone for a touchback. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. They're holding on right now to that slim advantage in a 1-score game, and you hear a lot about 2-minute offense and 4-minute offense. Obviously, the 4-minute offense applies here. How do they run that effectively?
Yeah, really what the 4-minute offense is you're just trying to grind the clock. So you want consistent gains, steady gains. Doesn't have to be big plays, but it has to be plays that gets first downs and keeps the ball away from your opponent.
But certainly throwing the ball is in the mix here.
It certainly is. Just make sure that you're careful with it. And again, get those first downs, keep possession of the football.
On 2nd and 12, Trubisky. Open man, Taylor Gabriel. And he lost the football. And the Jags grab it. And they have possession, and they have it at the 38-yard line.
I know when you're looking at the scoreboard clock, we're getting near the end of this game, but they were in what was really called 4-minute offense, and that's practice, meaning taking care of the football, taking time off the clock, not giving them a chance to come back. But bottom line is, what did I say in the beginning? Taking care of the football. That didn't happen.
Didn't do it. A costly turnover. A bit of an opening there on the first down run as they get this forward for about 6 yards. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets them to 2nd and 4.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old-school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
So up through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. This is a counter play. Eckler. And they'll get this one down to about the 20-yard line. 12 yards there and a first down.
Another carry for their leader and a good one. It's crunch time. They'll need him to continue to be productive in both the run and passing game in order for them to try and snatch a victory.
So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. Now a toss play to Eckler. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
Man left, man left. 3 down, 3 down.
On 2nd down and 4, Darnold flushed out right. Under pressure now, Darnold, and he goes down.
Sometimes I watch games and wonder why they use play fakes on certain passing situations, because it's not going to fool anyone. I don't know if that was the case here, but the end result was the same. No one fooled. The quarterback was hit.
One of the bigger plays in the game thus far, and the crowd getting into it as we come up on a big 3rd down. Back to throw, Darnold. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Trying to get that one to his tight end, and they've been trying to get the ball to him, but as of yet, unable to successfully complete one. But you know, there's usually a nice comfort zone in throwing to the tight end. Great sight lines, usually right in the middle of the field.
The kick by Lambo is good. And in the 4th quarter, this game is tied. I tell you, the life of a kicker. He has not been called on the entire game. He's over there by the net, but they send him out here in the 4th quarter and say, hey, go tie the game, will you? And guess what? He comes through.
I just don't know how they do it. I really don't. These cats are a different breed from you and me. That's a pressure kick, but that one was never in doubt.
The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. And last time they coughed it up, led to a field goal. They're fortunate that it only led to a field goal, but still, they're not happy about it.
Could you sense the relief, though, when they only gave up the field goal and they were able to trot back out on the field and start this drive? A little more pep in their step because they didn't cost their team a touchdown. But they
under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Yannick Ngakoue in there to take him down on what will take us to the 2-minute warning. So the Bears with the football here as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Another try after the first down sack. Trubisky, Josh Allen in there to get him. And on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him.
So, Brandon, we sat in with a lot of coaches, and when they talk about things they want to accomplish offensively, I'm not sure that sack and sack are on their play sheet.
Now it's Trubisky. And that is incomplete. 2 huge plays there down the stretch. The sack on 2nd down. Now they force the incompletion. That's going to lead to a do-or-die 4th down.
And they look like they've got the confidence right now that no matter what gets thrown against them, whatever play gets run, they have the ability to shut it down. They're just brimming with it right now.
Let's take it inside his own 40. That'll be a 50-yard punt with 8 on the return. And the Jaguars go on offense, 1st down and 10. The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive. They need to get this around the 40 on the other side to get into field goal range. Look at the clock, a decent amount of time here in a tie game. What do?
No panic situation at all. They've got to get a couple of chunk plays, pick up nice bits of yardage.
Target the sidelines?
Target the sidelines because you want to get out of bounds and make sure that clock stops. Because if the clock stays running, that makes things that much tougher for you. It can always bleed out on you.
So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. Darnold. He finds his target. It's Evans. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. 15 yards on the play. First down.
People worry about throwing the out route because often it can get jumped, and that can turn into either an incompletion or an interception. But not on that one. Everything came together, and he catches it and goes over the sideline.
Well, we had a number of good games in the afternoon sessions, but this Sunday nighter might top them all. So we come up here on 1st and 10. They're going to go toss right side with Eckler. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. Now the Bears going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. Darnold now to throw. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's 3rd down. These are the spots, this stage of the game, where it pays to have speed on the perimeter, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and in the second quarter, he may very well have run by him, but in this situation, I know as a defender, I'm loosening up a couple of extra steps that allowed him to run with him stride for stride.
Completes it to Lee. And he's going to get this inside the 30. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made here at the Bears' 29-yard line.
Okay, there's 3 timeouts left, right?
I think you got to use one here, don't you?
No doubt about it. I'd use one right here.
Now the Bears will use their 3rd and final timeout as the clock will stop with 45 seconds left to go in the game.
Check, watch 54, watch 54. I'm coming for you, son. I'm coming for you, son. My son. My son.
They go back to the ground now with Eckler. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6. The Jaguars going to go ahead and use their first timeout as they stop it here with just under 40 seconds to go in the game.
First and goal at the 6-yard line.
A game-winning field goal would be a chip shot from here. Let's see how they play it on 1st and goal.
97's the mic. 97's the mic. Here we go. Here we go.
First down, and they stick with Eckler. And a minuscule gain of maybe a yard from the 6 to the 5.
That didn't just feel like good defense there. That felt like pride, didn't it? He's already gotten into the end zone twice, trying to get there for a 3rd time. No one likes to have the hat trick against them.
They'll try the right side with Eckler. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. Now they get the timeout. It leads you to wonder, will they kick it here or risk running another play and possibly not getting down in time? We'll see.
A 26-yard attempt.
And his kick here is good. And it's celebration time on that sideline as they have taken the lead in the final seconds. The home crowd here absolutely loves it, as they should, getting the field goal in the closing moments and likely going to get out of here with a W.
A W, celebrations all around. How about how everyone's going to leave this stadium, right? And you know something? He probably makes more money than most of the 60,000 people here, but they're all willing to buy him dinner tonight, aren't they?
Oh, they don't care. He's a man of the people right now. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. Look at the clock. Everyone knows the situation. Probably time here for one final play.
And we know what that play is going to be. It's got to be some sort of Hail Mary, throwing it.
Pressure comes, and Trubisky goes down. Well, we saw a close game that kept us on the edge of our seats down to that final whistle. And right before that final whistle, defense with one last exclamation mark there, getting the sack to end it.
I love how you phrased it, because we were waiting to see what would happen. Obviously, we thought something would happen.